All right, guys, thanks for coming back for another video. Today, I'm going to be adding rock texture to a set of G10 scales, and I get asked a lot about that, so I thought I'd cover how I do it, my technique, all that stuff. So this is my Trekker T model. It's all dusty right now, and this is just regular G10 pins. Right now, I've got it shaped and contoured just with like a 120 grit belt. You can see, just to add some comfort to how it feels in your hands. I do that before I add my rock texture to those scales. Just makes it a little more comfortable to hold on to and use. As far as what I'm using to do it, I'll show you right now. I have a 180 grit belt on there, a 1/2 inch small wheel attachment, and this is the OBM small wheel attachment. And man, if you listen to that, I think the bearings are already bad in this. And I haven't used it for that long, but no big deal. It's just the bearings on those wheels. I think they're just pressed on. But anyways, I'm gonna run it, see how it works. I like to use it, hang on, I'll show you. In the horizontal position like that, it makes it easier to kind of keep your eyes on this part and kind of look down on it. I'll show you how I do it. The rule of thumb for me is use the finest grit you can get away with without burning up your material as you're grinding it. So like for my Carta, a lot of times I have to use like maybe an 80 grit belt, or else even if you run it really slow, it just machines a little harder. So for G10, I found you can get away with 180. You might be able to get away with even a higher grip belt if it's a new one. This is kind of a used, it's still got pretty good cut to it, a used Red Label Abrasives 180 grit belt. And with the G10, the finer finish you can get, just the better the colors pop, especially if you're doing an orange or a blue or something that has a little more vibrant colors to it. With black, it probably doesn't matter as much. But so anyways, I'm gonna get right into it, show you guys how I do this. I normally run it pretty slow, maybe 20 to 30% power on the VFD. And I'll show you my techniques, and hopefully you guys can pick up a couple tricks here. You can also see here I have my super high-end dust collection system set up. It helps just suck a little of that G10 dust out of the air. It's not fancy, but it actually works pretty good. Okay, there's side one. So as you can see, as I'm going, I'm doing a lot of random ups, downs, maybe in a little more, out a little more, less pressure, more pressure. I'm just trying to make it kind of random, okay? And then what I do is try to make it flat on the pin spot. Sorry about that, bumped the camera. And it just looks a little cleaner. If you leave some gouges like through your pins, it looks a little wonky, but wonky. And then I'll show you on the next side. Once you're done kind of doing like this, you'll see you miss spots in between. And just like right there, you can still see there's a little spot I have to hit again. And just go at like a different angle. Just hit it at a little different angle on that spot to try to just give it some unique character. And you can see there's no evenness or anything to anything, and it just stays kind of like a rock texture. It looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side, okay? And then I'll show you how I finish it and really get that color to pop. Okay, so here you can see all the bright orange spots are what I missed on that pass, okay? And I kind of do it on purpose. And then you go back over and hit these at different angles and really give it some character. Oh my gosh, listen to this, you guys. Oh, that's horrible. I think that, let's see here. Listen. Yeah. Oh, and I can see the seal right here coming off this bearing. Dang it. Well, these things are cheap to replace. All it is a little rod. I can probably just press on new bearings. I don't know. And I'm not sure. That one feels good. That one's shot. Not sure why those go bad so fast. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to show you really quick now what I do to finish this and really make it look good. This is at 180 grit right now. And all my flats here are all the spine of the knife. Down here is at 180 grit as well. So what I like to do, because if you just leave it like that, you still have these sharp edges, okay? And yeah, it looks cool or whatever, but when you actually go to use the knife, it creates horrible hot spots on your hand. Like right now, it's just too much texture, too much grip there. So what I'm gonna do is go over all of this and kind of round off all these edges with 120 grit sandpaper, and then I'm gonna bring this up to 400 before, and then I just re-etch it because this is a stone wash finish blade, and then I go ahead and re-etch the spine here to kind of make it match the rest of the style of the knife, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and hand sand this, like I just said, and then I'll show you how I finish it and really, really, really get it to pop and look sweet. You can see I'm just using a little piece of G10 and some 120 grit paper. Just keeps it flat and keeps that real nice and crispy. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and right where your finger is, and then flip it over, do the other side, and then I'll show you kind of how I round off all those edges. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of 220 grit paper, and you can see I've got it kind of locked up in the vise right here. And you're just gonna kind of real easily go over like just a couple passes on all those rough edges, okay? And you'll feel why you wanna do this once you start doing it, because it goes from being really rough, and I mean, it feels good, real grippy, but after you use that blade for a little bit, it'll make hot spots in your hand, and you really don't want that. So I just kind of real carefully go over kind of the high spots, I guess you'd say. And I don't know if everybody does this, or you don't have to, but I don't ever want one of my knives to be uncomfortable to use. I want it to look good, you know, have good grip, but I don't want it to create hot spots and blisters and all that stuff. So this really helps with that. Just on all your edges, it only takes a minute, but you can already, and you'll feel it once you do yours. It's a lot smoother. It's still got great texture, but it's a little less aggressive, and that's all you have to do. So let me show you guys now kind of my next step to get the finish done on it, and I'll show you guys kind of how it looks. Okay, so right now I'm cleaning the spine of this knife just with a little lacquer thinner. This one might not kind of fall into what you're doing, but this is going to get some gun blued finish, all this to get it to match the rest of the knife. If you are leaving it satin, don't worry about this, but I thought I'd show it really quick. I just take a Q-tip, you clean it really good, obviously first. Get a little bit of bluing on your Q-tip. Let me see if I can show it. And you can see you rub it on there and it just instantly turns it black. Well, blue, but. And then you take a little bit of ammonia glass cleaner, spray it on there. It'll neutralize it and give you a real cool look, and it'll match the rest of the blade. So yeah, you can kind of see there. Looks pretty good. Okay, once your bluing's on there, you've got it neutralized. I take a little bit of steel wool and just kind of blend it in. It's kind of a small step, but it really makes it look good and even, because that gun bluing kind of is a little glotchy. And sorry, just going like this a little bit, just man, it really gives it a cool final finish. And yeah, there's a little trick there for you. Hopefully you picked, if you didn't learn anything else from that video, this video, you at least learned something. So, okay, here is how it looks right now, drying it off. And I will show you really quick the final step here. It's definitely it's dried out looking, and it just doesn't pop super good. But you can see those textures really good right now. All those different little textures I put in there. And I try to do these kind of even in the front. I don't know why, just something I do. It's very random, but maybe adding a little bit of evenness, I don't know, gives it something a little extra. So once you have it dry, okay, like it is right now, I take a little bit of lacquer thinner on a rag, because G10 picks up every little bit of dirt, and it's kind of hard to see right here. And this step I normally do after I do the Kydex, but just for this video, I'm going to show you guys, because when you do the Kydex, it pulls some of this, it gets a little dirtier, and you know, I do the final cleanup after I do the Kydex normally. But I'll show you guys kind of how this looks. Right now, I'm cleaning all the little grease and dirt that has got in all these little things. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you do this at home. It just picks up a lot of grime and stuff, and it just doesn't look very good. So once you have it cleaned up, I'll just do a quick job on it right now just to show you guys. The key to this whole thing, okay, is this right here. Boiled linseed oil. What I like to do is you can either take that and pour it in a little jug or something that you can fit the whole knife in, and you can submerge the whole knife in it for a little bit. For the sake of this video, I'm going to put a little bit on a rag just to show you guys how awesome this stuff is, and wipe it on the knife. Okay, let me back you up a little bit. I'm just kind of wiping it on here. You guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, how cool. And bam, just popping orange. Lighting's horrible in here, but you can see that's how you really get this stuff to look good, and just how the thumbnail for this video looks. And what I find when you do this with the rock texturing, once you use the knife a little bit, like once you actually use it, you might have to re-oil it every once in a while to really get that color to pop. This linseed oil, though, really soaks in good and gives you a good finish for a long time. But just like how you have to do with any high carbon steel knife, you do have to oil it every once in a while. And like I just, when you oil your blade up after maybe you used it, just put a little oil back on that G10, get that color popping again. And there you have it. So I'm gonna actually kind of clean this off, but that is how it looks. Super cool. Again, this is my Trekker T model. If you guys wanted to order one or check out more, go over to my Instagram at Gentry Custom Knives. You can order one. And for those that watch this video, it'll be a little special thing. I've got some really cool knives coming up that I'm going to do a drop for, okay? To where I think I have like 6 to 8 of them that I'm going to do. They're going to be my Trekker H model, which is this one right here. These are all going to be 1095 steel. Trekker H, you've seen these I'm sure before. These are all individual serialized, super cool. And these are getting something I've never used before. This is really awesome. Some of this Day Glow G10. What? Super cool stuff. I think I got enough here to do what I have. We'll see, but I don't know when those will be done. But if you guys want a chance at getting one of those, make sure you go over to my Instagram. You check it out. Turn the post notifications on so you can see probably, what's today? Today's the 20th. I hope to have those done in a couple weeks. I'm going to try to squeeze them in throughout all the rest of these orders I've got right now. But just a little teaser for you guys. It's going to be awesome. Those are going to be really, really cool. Probably will get the same rock texturing as I'm doing with this, depending on kind of how it looks. I'm not positive yet on that. But okay, anyways, this video is getting too long. Hope you guys learned something. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe. If you have anything in the future you want me to cover that I know how to do, shoot it in the comments and I'll try to do a video on it. Like always, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.